Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. I'm going to be doing some T5 testing actually with a new ship that I've not really showed you guys before. I have done a few testing of it before, but it hasn't always worked out too well, and that is namely the Caldari heavy assault cruiser, the Cerberus. The reason I've even considered this to begin with is just because the Cerberus has a very high inherent DPS. So if I've actually not even got maxed out heavy assault cruiser skills. I've got heavy assault cruiser 4. And look here, look how much DPS we're gonna have here. We're just using the standard Tech 2 heavy assault missile launchers, 840 DPS. Oof, that's some serious DPS right there. And if we go here and look at the heavy assault cruiser bonuses, we get 5% bonus to launcher rate of fire if we level it out one more level. So I'll be able to do 5% more DPS. Now if we do some quick maths, that'll be about 30 something more DPS. So I'll have almost 900 DPS. This ship has, I'm going to be, like, with this fit, I'm going to be using the higher grade crystals just to be more safe. It's going to be quite expensive. However, I want to be able to find some alternative to the Gila. However, the testing I have done so far, I can say it like this. It has not been as good as the Gila. It's not been as good as the Gila. And it has to do just with, there's multiple reasons. First off, Cerberus is not extremely tanky. It's not particularly tanky. It has to do a lot with its slot layout, actually. So it only has 5 mid slots, and for a shield-based ship, that's not so much. Like if we go into the Gila, and we go into one of these here, see here, 6 mid slots. Okay, 6 mid slots is a lot. Only for 5 mid slots here, and then also, then you have to also remember that Tech 2 cruisers or Tech 2 ships in general, they tend to have pretty good like resistances. So that is a upside, but still it's not got any inherent bonuses to the shielding, so it's not a particularly tanky ship. The heavy assault cruisers, they generally speaking are divided into 2 types. So you usually have the sniper type, which is the Cerberus, or you have the tanky type, which in the Caldari's case is the, what was it called now, the Eagle. Yeah, the Eagle, this one here. So if we go here, see that 4% bonus to all shield resistances. You can see that in the Caldari skills. So this is the less tanky one. So that's a bit of an issue. You need to have pretty good tank in the Abyss. And then also, when it comes to the DPS, it's got good DPS, okay? Don't get me wrong. It's got good DPS. But there's one big issue. It's hard to apply that DPS really well. So often I'll actually have to be using the Caldari Navy. And if we go here, you see we're doing quite a bit less DPS now. We're going to doing like less than a Gila now. And even these Caldari navies with the Webifier don't fully apply, I've noticed. I could perhaps use more application modules. I've not got any application modules apart from this web. However, I have got pretty good skills. So this is the thing. I think that the Cerberus has some upsides and downsides. It can potentially do a lot of DPS, but it doesn't have extremely good tank, and it also has a hard time to apply it. Okay, so we're going to get into the testing soon. I'm actually made this for the chaotic exotic because the Cerberus basically only wants to run these sites. It has to do with that the Cerberus has a bonus to only the kinetic missiles, and that is otherwise the other type of missiles are going to do really crap DPS. And in the exotic filaments, let's see if we can, there we go. In the exotic filaments, you have a reduced kinetic resistance. So this is what you'll want to be running, because you're going to essentially do more DPS. Also, guys, this is the thing now. I've actually just finished my exams. Actually, yesterday from filming this video, I finished this semester's exams. Thankfully, it went actually really good. I'm really happy about it because this was one of the most challenging medical school exams I've had so far. But it, to my surprise, actually went a lot better than I thought. And I'm pretty happy about this, and to give back to you guys of me passing these exams, and I think also it kind of marks a time where I ought to give them, is that I have got a few more of these stereo skins to give away. Yes, so I've obviously been doing well in school, and I also think I want you guys to feel good as well in some way, so I'm going to give you guys some skins. So we're going to be giving away 3 of these Astero skins, the Scope Syndication ones. So if we go here and Astero Scope Syndication, I'm going to be giving away 3 of these guys, 3 more. And this is something I get because I'm an EVE partner, so CCP gives me these, and they give me them to only give away to people who are fans of my channel, or to you guys who watch my content. So for you guys to be able to be in this giveaway, it is very simple. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and say you want to be in the giveaway. And honestly, this time I want to just, give you guys something to think about, not just put a comment, giveaway, name, that's it. I want you guys to tell me what is your favorite PvE activity to do in EVE Online. In my case, it's the Abyss, and also tell me why it is, because I think the Abyss is something that's very it requires a lot of interaction. You interact a lot in the Abyss. There's lots of different spawns, and you have to kind of work around them, and it's not as simple as just the same old nullsec ratting. However, nullsec ratting is pretty relaxing though, because it is so chill. But I like the Abyss because it's a very varied environment and also pays pretty well. So let me know then what kind of PvE activity you like, and tell me why. And make sure you then subscribe and tell me your EVE name as well, so I can contract you these skins. The giveaway will end in maybe a week or so, or a few days. It depends. I'll let you guys know when it's over. You'll see when it's over. Okay, so let's get into this T5 chaotic exotic test in the Cerberus. I have done it before. It has passed the gauntlet. However, it is not the the best when it comes to time. That's the main issue I have. It has to do with applying that DPS really well. That's the issue I have got. So some potential improvements I'm thinking of could be to add some more application modules instead of DPS modules. However, then again, I think that, okay, but then we're going to do less DPS, but we apply it better, so it feels a bit like, it's kind of like a plus minus and then equals 0. Plus minus 1 and then you get 0. So it's like, I'd rather have more DPS, because then in those situations where we have like the rogue drone battleship or just big stuff that is very easy to apply on, they won't take forever, because that's one issue with having really like high application low DPS weaponry, is that those spawns that have a lot of meat to get through, they take a long time, such as the battleship waves. So we're going to go here and activate the filament. The filament is set to destroy, because I have actually done a few destroy testing recently, but now I'm going to be doing some cruiser testing. Okay, now I have to also organize my modules a little bit. Actually, this is a good organization. The assault damage control is something I love to have with the heavy assault cruisers, because it just doesn't such one of those modules which just comes in so handy when it comes to the Abyss. Not only does it come in very handy when you get into these like very difficult situations, but it also is very useful when it comes to like abyssal gankers. The abyssal gankers is a very common thing. People often gank you in the Abyss, like when you get out of the Abyss. I mean, not in the Abyss. So I think that the assault damage control can help, or it can help quite a bit if you are against gankers. Like obviously, if you are against really many tornadoes, they are going to one-shot you, even if you do use your assault damage control. But it will help at least for the lesser gankers. That is something I really would always have on every cruiser if it was possible. Okay, now we've taken a bit of damage right there. Okay, so I want to see how much, if I apply any better to rage, because I was doing about 1.3k damage when it went through the armor, so maybe it will be doing a little bit better armor. Okay, let's just see now. Okay, 1,900 maybe. Yeah, this is a lot better. 1,009. Okay, no, maybe not. It's not. 1,300. Yeah, so it's doing about the same amount of damage as the Caldari Navy, because when I was doing the Caldari Navy on that first Vedmak, it was doing about 1,300. It could also make a difference if it was like the transversal, not the transversal, but like the velocity, because you can see these guys are going up and down when it comes to their speeds. Okay, this is actually quite a favorable wave for me, because I have the how do you say, the most of them are Vedmak, so it's going to be easier to apply these guys. And let's actually take out this anchoring guy, because these anchoring guys are really annoying, because without these I'm able to actually kite and actually avoid a lot of DPS. That's one of the good things with the Triglavian waves, is that they are very easily kited when it comes to the Vedmax if you have the range. The 25, what I mean by the range is that if you have more than 25 kilometers and you have a decent speed, you can very easily kite them, because the Vedmax have are outside 25 kilometers, they're essentially completely useless. Like, they can't do anything outside 25 kilometer range. So they will, you will always be able to negate that damage and that is where majority of the damage is. Oh, drones! No, Hornet IIs. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to take out this annoying anchoring. I should have probably gone for this guy first, actually. Okay, let's head towards the bioadaptive cache. One of the downsides of also having the missile-based ships, the Cerberus, is that if you've got one of those deviant automata suppressors, you're going to have big problems because they all shoot down a lot of your missiles. Something I've actually noticed when it comes to the deviant automata suppressors is that they don't shoot down every single missile that comes in range. It has like there's a bit of like a tick sort of thing. Like every second, I think there's like a certain percentage chance or something that a missile will get destroyed. So you won't lose every single missile. You can actually, like, you see there's a deviant automata suppressor there. If I was like a point blank at that guy, I could actually just shoot my missiles and still do some damage. However, it'll be greatly reduced because a lot of them will be taken down by the deviant automata suppressor. Especially the short-range ones. I've noticed that I don't know if it's just me, but I think the short-range ones are actually more potent than the medium-ranged ones. It has to do with I think that just the medium-range ones, they're bigger radius but less strong, and then they've got the short-range, which is a small radius but very strong when it comes to shooting down your missiles. But also when it comes to rogue drones as well, so that's something that's very delicious, actually. You'll finish the wave very quickly if you manage to lure a fleet of horrendous rogue drones, or scrubby rogue drones, into a deviant automata suppressor. Okay, what was this time here? 4 minutes. 4 minutes is a pretty good time, actually. I would say that's pretty decent right there. That is what I usually would do in my Gila. Anything that comes in the near or like neighborhood of the Gila time, I would consider that a very good time, because the Gila is kind of like almost like my gold standard, so to say. Because I've done so many sites in that ship, and it's been so reliable, but I would love to find alternatives to it as well. Okay, what is the range? 43 kilometers. Okay, we're getting a little bit of tracking disrupted here by the Fogcaster. Unfortunate. Or not tracking disrupted, missile guidance disrupted. Do we have any blue clouds anywhere? Blue clouds. Oh, wait, we've got deviant automata suppressor. Let's go. Okay, we've got a short range. No, that's a multi-body tracking pylon. Okay. Let's get close to the deviant automata suppressor. And actually, we will probably want to recall our drones soon, because my drones are going to get annihilated by the deviant automata suppressor. Deviant automata suppressors, I don't really have any issue with them when it comes to using my Gila, because the Gila's drones are cranked up to 5,000 when it comes to their HP. But on the other hand, when it comes to these light drones, not medium drones like the Gila, but the light drones, and that are unbonused, you're gonna have big problems. Actually, you're gonna have big problems. Okay, can we lock anything up now? Yeah. So you can see here, we're doing a little bit of damage, even though we're like a point blank range. At this deviant automata suppressor base, obviously going to be less. You can see here, there's probably a lot of the missiles from this rack that are actually being shot down by this deviant automata suppressor. But we're going to kill them very quickly soon. You can see here that they're going down almost when there are a lot of them right now, but when they start dying, they'll almost all die almost straight away. It's like an AoE, like this smart bombs. People do smart bomb ratting actually in nullsec, I've seen, and they got these smart bomb rattings, and they shoot these smart bombs that are like similar to the way the deviant automata suppressor works. Is that it's like an AoE kind of area of effect module that will like really just destroy everything that's very close, but it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. However, when you actually have killed one of them, then everyone else will die, because you basically got them all to very low HP, because you multiply by the amount of targets you've done. So even if you're doing like 200 DPS, but you're hitting 10 targets at a time, you're essentially doing 10k DPS, 2k DPS. It has a lot to do with the Eden comp ships as well, that you're doing a low DPS but hitting multiple targets, so you're essentially doing more DPS. However, that's a big if. If you are hitting those targets, then you are doing a lot of DPS. So there's a lot of assumptions when it comes to DPS applicability, and also how many, if you actually are hitting at all, when it comes to these AoE type of weapons. You can see that now they're falling pretty quickly, and we can obviously speed this up by just shooting a bit more missiles. Let's just shoot the weakest ones. Okay, there we go. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. The abyssal dead space in the exotic filament, it was actually, well, it looks, I like the background. It looks kind of a bit mysterious with this green one, but also it just it brings back a little bit of memories as well, because the first filament I ever did was actually an exotic filament, a T1 exotic I think it was, in a Gila actually, and that was just, I remember that summer of 2018 when the abyssal sights were released. It was those were some really good memories I had from that, because I remember I was not as rich as I am now. I was quite a bit, like my net worth was probably like at least 10 times less than it was now, and I got so much ISK from those T1 sites, because those precursor frigate skills and precursor cruiser skills, they all went for really high prices, like 100 mil, 200 mil, almost what the specialization skill book's going for now. And for me, that was just absolutely crazy. It's like, what the hell, how did I get so much so quickly? There were some good memories. And also I just remember in general just trying out the Abyss. It was such a new experience. I'd never experienced something before. Like the details look so beautiful, and also that the NPCs were very unique. Like it was a lot different than any kind of PvE activity we had before. Okay, so we've got a blue card here. This is very favorable for me. You always want to have these guys when you're going in the Cerberus for the T5 Abyss, because or any Abyss in general actually, because you will be hitting much more like a truck actually. And if you've got a Webifier as well, it's going to go even better. So we're going to take out these ghosting guys. It's just because they are making me apply worse. They've got E-War that makes me apply worse. I think it makes me apply worse. Obviously, I can see that it makes me have a lower range, but I don't know if it does make me apply worse. I think it does make me apply worse, because that's what some of these guys at least do. Or the missile guidance disruptors do. Okay, let's get this tangling over here. And now I'm going to go for the Veds. The Vedmax actually will do significant DPS when ramped up. You never underestimate them. And I also want to just Webify him and take out my drones, because I want to kill these guys fast. We're going to kill them fast. We're going to go in the Cerberus and kill them fast. Oh, that was a big hit I got there. Maybe we're going to have to overheat a little bit. I can do a little bit of assault damage control, whatever. You can do assault damage control. We're going to kill this guy so fast. There. Oh, wait, there's another ghosting dynamic. That's a bit unfortunate right there. Look at it. You see that we're boosting right here because of the assault damage control. Really nice. Really nice. Okay, kill this guy in here. He died pretty fast. We've got the blue cloud and the Webifier on him. Remember before I was shooting the Vedmax in the first room with just without any Webifier, and there was no blue cloud either. Not doing pretty decent amount of DPS. Now we're killing them much faster, because we've got the blue cloud and we've got the Webifier on the case. Okay, let's lock up these guys. Oof, these guys are dying pretty quickly. Some good time right here. Always have to remember though that it is an expensive ship I'm using, so I'm not, at the same time, which I am glad that we did this site pretty fast. It can go slower, but also I would have expected something this expensive to actually do it at a decent speed. Like I think the total fit costs like 3 or 2 bill, something like that. So I would have expected it to actually do the T5 Abyss. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't do it alright, because if I'm using that big amount of money on it, I would have expected it to at least perform somewhat okay in the T5 Abyss. I pulled up my D-scan there by accident. I hit the V key. I was pressing the C key. You can press C and then just click on something. You can look at it like this. See? Okay. And I actually should be using the Caldari Navy Scourge heavy assault missiles just to get a bit of application, because even though we've got Webifier and the blue cloud, I still think that we will be doing more DPS with the Caldari Navy actually, because of how small the Damavics are. However, I have heard that the Damavics have got pretty good big signature rates. Oh, do you see how fast that Damavic died right there? Oh yes, 1k volley. Yeah. The Caldari Navy is definitely better. Cruisers, I'm guessing, Rage will be better, and the Caldari Navy is just better on frigates. Makes sense. I think, however, in some cases the Caldari Navy will be better on certain cruisers, like I think sleeper cruisers, because they do go pretty fast, and the application of the heavy assaults, Rage heavy assaults, is pretty bad actually. I just wish, this is the thing with the Cerberus, I wish there were more mid slots, because if it had more mid slots, either I could add more tank, or I could add more application modules. Or to be honest, I probably would add application modules. I would maybe add something like a target painter or something of the sort. And also, in like, when it comes to these modules here, it's hard for me to get a really good tank. Like, I have to use pretty blinged out modules and expensive implants. Even then, I've not got an amazing tank. Like, my Gila has much better tank than this. Much better tank. I'm having to rely a lot on my Assault damage control if something goes south. In the Gila, I never even remotely have to get close to my Assault damage control. In the worst case, maybe I'd have to overheat a couple of cycles. I mean, what I'm saying is the Gila can't use an Assault damage control, but I don't encounter situations which would require one, is what I'm saying. Like we had now, that doesn't happen with the Gila. So we finished this in 13 minutes, or 12.5 minutes, I guess, because it takes a bit of time to, you know, go to the origin conduit, but I'll say 13 minutes. 13 minutes is something which I would consider good time. However, the spawns were pretty easy. It was a rogue drone wave. Those in general do not take a long time. Also, in the third wave, which we just did now, we had a blue cloud, which aided us a lot in killing stuff fast. The first one, it was 4 minutes. So after this, and we didn't have any like real bonuses right there. The only thing is that we had a lot of Vedmax, so we would obviously be applying better than, say, a full fleet of Damavix. Full fleet of Damavix would have probably taken more than 4 minutes. We had 3 or 4 Vedmax and a couple of Damavix, so it was mainly cruisers or somewhat big stuff that we were actually doing damage to. So that first wave, which took 4 minutes, is a little bit faster than I would say the worst case, but we still did it pretty well. I think the Cerberus definitely can be a viable T5 Abyss ship, but I much prefer the Gila just because of the application. If you do get unlucky, application will cost you a lot of time. And personally speaking, I don't want to do that just in general. I don't like to play around with the time because you make too many mistakes that can add up and you can lose your expensive ship to time. Second of all, more time means less ISK per hour, because doing the side start means less ISK per hour. That is just the way it works. And that is something which obviously is not favorable when you're doing these farming Abyss sites. Also, I tend to actually, now number C, or not C, letter C on these reasons, which I think that maybe the Cerberus is not the best, is because I tend to always use my MWD to get the extraction nodes. A lot of people disagree with me, and you know what, guys? I really don't care. I don't care. I like using my MWD to grab extraction nodes, okay? You can say how much you want, send me hate mails how much you want, how stupid I am for doing that, but I always am doing it faster than people who use their stupid MTUs, okay? And no offense to you guys who use MTUs, I don't care. What I'm saying is just that people have been quite rude to me of me using MWDs. I always like to use MWDs to get the extraction nodes. And the thing is, with the extraction nodes, I'll have a bit of a hard time getting them. Not because of how, like, we have pretty decent damage projection. Like, we have, 40-kilometer range with the Caldari navies, and we have towards like 30 or 28 kilometers going with the rages. With that damage range, but then we've got our web, which is only like 14-kilometer range. It will be hard for us to get maximum application if I am going back and forward between the extraction nodes. So I don't think it will be the best when it comes to getting those extraction nodes. I mean, it will be alright, I think, but I still think the Gila will be better, because the thing is with the Gila, you got those drones that can go up to like 70-kilometer range with good skills, and a drone link augmenter, which I often use. So that means I can essentially just go to every single one of those extraction nodes, and I will actually be able to just do almost all my DPS and still get through the site. Missiles, the light missiles which I use in the Gila, they tend to actually be quite short range. That is a negative thing. Those don't do they won't be able to be applied fully. But the main DPS in the Gila is from the drones. So actually, I would say probably with the Cerberus, it would maybe even be better to use an MTU. Oh, I'm promoting the MTU meta. But I think that is something which I don't like. I prefer to be able to just go and cruise around directly to my nodes or my caches. That is how I prefer to fly. That is also a negative side. So I think that Cerberus definitely does have potential, but it does have some downsides towards Gila. And honestly, I think that I wish there were more alternatives that were as fast as farming as the Gila. And if you guys do have some fits or do have some ship fits that are as effective as the Gila, please let me know. I'm not saying like, okay, you maybe did like 1 or 2 sites that and it works, but the thing is, like, I'm talking about more like consistent kind of, if they're like legit farming alternatives, because really honestly I have a hard time finding stuff that beats the Gila, at least in the T5 Abyss. Maybe even T6 Abyss someday, but T6 Abyss still, I have not fully figured it out. It's still one of those uncharted territory for me, at least. So that is it. Cerberus T5 Abyss, T5 Exotic. I did it in like about 13 minutes. I think that's all right time. However, I did get some pretty lucky spawns. Hope you guys enjoyed this video right here. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.